Titan Comics sent us over a copy of their newest Conan the Barbarian paperback, bound in black stone. The story picks up with a Conan the Barbarian who is not yet king. He's a brutal warrior, defying the odds as his homeland is attacked. He finds an ancient sword that piques his interest in lands beyond his own. This sets him on his quest. He ventures out on his own and finds some mercenary work, which makes sense given his skill set. In one small town, a woman, Brissa, from the Gurian tribe, warns of an approaching army, one of which no one has ever seen. That brings in the zombies. Not named as such, but there we are. This 4-issue arc follows Conan's adventures facing this undead threat to the whole world, including his homeland. We get Conan the Barbarian, adventurer, noble, and Cimmerian warrior. Apologies if I'm pronouncing that wrong. I'm pretty new to the world of Conan the Barbarian. This is actually my first Conan comic. The property was created by Robert E. Howard nearly a century ago, but somehow I haven't been reading them. Until now. I saw the Schwarzenegger movie a long time ago, but barely remember it aside from the classic pop culture lines.
Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of their women.
Getting back to the comic, diving into Blackstone made me see what I had been missing. Conan is a simple character, but that doesn't stop him from being interesting. We get to go on the adventure straight away. The action in this book is amazingly done. It's brutal, fun, inventive, exciting, fast-paced, and, most importantly, plentiful. The action almost doesn't stop. Even the dialogue to move the story forward is often being shouted by the characters over whatever enemy was stupid enough to get within the reach of Conan's sword, axe, fist, boot, or rock. I fell in love with the art immediately. Knowing Conan is a classic property, I was happy to see that the art was a modernized version of these classic styles. It looks like it could be something out of the 1970s, when comics were really wild, but a cleaned up version of that. And I don't mean cleaned up in subject matter, just very fine details and exquisite colors that show up so well on the glossy pages of the printed copy. I opened up a digital copy just to do a side-by-side comparison, and the digital is beautiful and perfectly serviceable, don't get me wrong, but you're gonna want to grab this in print. In a comic like this, dialogue and lettering is something, to me at least, that either doesn't jump out or does, but for all the wrong reasons. Blackstone broke this way of thinking in me. It blew me away. The lettering style reinforces the classic but refined look I just mentioned with the artwork. The narration is done in the style of an older adventure comic, as well as the dialogue itself going from being important to move the story on to something so over the top and fun I was rereading lines 3 and 4 times before moving on. Lines like, "His blade cuts deep, issuing a gout of cogent crimson, making his purpose clear." That's just pure genius. Blackstone moves at a rapid pace. It feels like you're watching it more than you're reading it. At the edge of your seat, anticipating that next page turn, it ends far too quickly, but doesn't leave you hanging. The paperback contains 4 issues, plus some bonus material. There's a full story in these pages, so don't worry about not having a satisfying conclusion. The creative team behind Bound in Blackstone are writer Jim Zub, art by Roberto de la Torre, colors by Dean White and Jose Villarrubia. Again, apologies on pronunciation. Lettering by Richard Starkings of Comic Craft and editor Matt Murray. There's also a really cool, intricately detailed full-color map of the Hyborian Age done by Francesca Beralde. Conan the Barbarian, Bound in Blackstone, comes out February 13th, 2024 from Titan Comics. Digital and print versions will be available, and I recommend the printed version.